Okay, YouTube tells me I'm live. We have 19 people here. If you can hear me and you know how to use the emoticons, would you give me a thumbs up? Did you notice Allie was already in the background over here? Sorry, I gotta reverse it. So we've already had some loving, divine, feline energy. Oh, Tess, you're here. Thank you for being one of my moderators. I know that the fact that it is Father's Day in numerous countries, not global, is going to impact attendance today. But I just really felt that it was important that we um, have this meditation today. And because it's Father's Day and that's the divine masculine energy being celebrated, I thought it was time to add our intention for this meditation to the day's energy. So I'm just chattering, looking for some thumbs up that you hear me. Hopefully I'm not just lips moving. And if you're wondering what my eyes do, okay, on this side of the screen, I can see your chat. Here, I'm looking at you. Over here, I've got my list of protections and things like that we want to do in our setup. So you can see what my eyes do as we do this, but my heart's with you if my eyes are here or here. And once we get the protections talked about and get started into the meditation, I won't be looking at the chat till we're done. Julie and Tess will be doing that. So we definitely want to welcome everybody here to this meditation. It is non-denominational. And as far as I'm concerned, anyone who has a peaceful faith practice is welcome to bring that here and participate. If you're here with just wanting to see how it's done, if you're just curious or skeptical, you're still more than welcome to be here. I hope at some point you'll decide to jump in and participate. This meditation doesn't include a lot of eyes closed unless that helps you visualize and ums and lotus positions and things like that. We're going to talk about directing our energy because meditation is focused energy, especially one that's done as a group. Now, we want that focused energy to be very safe and protected. So you'll notice that as I set up, it might not seem like there's much of a segue from the setup to, okay, now we're going. You'll kind of know that because at the end of the setup, we'll do 3 breaths to kind of cleanse ourselves and get ready to meditate. And then it's just, again, focused energy. And my words help that happen. It's plain and simple. That's what it's all about. So I want to welcome everybody that's here, that's participating. I would like to give an advisory. Again, if you're here just skeptical, just wanting to watch the proceedings, you're more than welcome. But if you're here with negative intent, I want you to be well aware that we as a group are going to collect that negative intention and energy, and we're going to be sending it to source. And don't split hairs with me. I talk about the creator of all creators when I'm talking about source. So I go to the CEO, and if that CEO wishes to delegate, so be it. But that energy will be sent out of here. So if you want to retain it, you might want to leave now. You've been advised. We will have your informed consent to remove that negative energy from you, and it will never be available in that form on this plane of existence again. So I love the thought that there might be some people here that are kind of negative, but deep down, they might have some second thoughts and regrets. And so they hang around. This way, we can help them rid themselves of that negativity and maybe start on a different path. So I love the thought of that. So it is 2:01 up here, and we are officially starting. Welcome everyone that's here. The focus of this month's meditation is going to be on divine and masculine and feminine energy and the balance of that. Now, I want to explain that energy a little bit to you. We all can have every single trait that's in the divine masculine and divine feminine. It isn't gender or, sex assignment specific. But for far too long, our world has denied the divine feminine aspect to the point that it's out of balance, and that creates some toxicity. And in my opinion, it also impedes our progress as the human race and our world. That out of balance doesn't do us any good. I saw a YouTube video here a while back about problem solving men and women, and it showed these guys with hula hoops and they were going through it as fast as they could. And then when the women went through with the same thing, the first one went through the hula hoop and then held it for all the others, and they were done in 10 seconds. And that to me is the perfect example of how divine masculine and divine feminine can blend and actually be stronger, have better problem solving, have just a better outcome. So let's get started here with the protections. Okay, again, I've given one because we have informed consent that any negativity is going to be sent to central source, to our loving creator, whoever or however you view it, to be transmuted and purified and not available again on this plane of existence. So I am a visualizer. So I'm going to visualize a dandelion that's ready to have a wish and blow. And the little white seedlets on it are a little dingy from that negativity. So I don't want to give evil too much weight, thought, time. I don't want to give it anything that feeds it. So I view it like that, like a dandelion, and I blow those little seeds to central source and they start glittering and sparkling and looking like, that beautiful glitter that elementary teachers put on all art projects, and it's gone. So I'm going to take just a second here, and you're welcome to join me if you'd like, to visualize negativity being removed, and not only removed, but we're not going to send it back to sender. Then they can reuse it. We're sending it to source to be transmuted, purified, and gone forever from this plane of existence. So I'm visualizing that dandelion. I'm going to take a deep breath. This is just personally how I do it. You can laugh, participate, do whatever you want, or view it however works for you. Just don't give it too much weight. And I'm blowing it to source. And then I'm going to take that little dandelion stem and set it aside. Okay. Now, one of the potential pitfalls of group meditations in the past was people didn't know to protect their energy, and they were giving it for one purpose, and it ended up getting kind of stolen and used for another. So before we ever really contribute anything more than this clearing energy that we just did, I want to state categorically that the purpose of this meditation is to focus on a balancing, a realignment possibly of divine masculine, divine feminine energy, a very positive focus. And our intent is in perpetuity. That intent is the only intent this energy is being offered for. It cannot be changed, mutilated, hijacked, used for other purposes ever. So I want you to feel like your energy you're giving is very safe and secure, because we are making sure that we are very, very clear in our intent that it may not be used in any other way at any other time for eternity. Now, my intent also with this meditation is that if you are participating, a little or a lot, that you leave here feeling, number one, like you contributed something positive, even though it wasn't tangible, something you could touch. And number two, that you leave here feeling more energized than you came. Because we shouldn't be depleting ourselves to give energy to this intention, not if we are in touch with source ourselves. And if you're here with scientific dispatch, you may be giving us your energy, and we'll try to help you get filled up as you participate. Those of us that have a faith practice, a belief, I view myself as being a conduit, and I've tried to teach people to be a conduit, because they used to say, be careful of your energy, Laura. If you give everybody in the world love and light, you're going to not have any of your own. No, I've learned to be a conduit. Think of like a gutter drain pipe. So it comes from above. It's not from me. It comes through me, but I can't run out because I'm not using my own energy. I'm a conduit for the positive, loving energy of the universe. And you can be too. It's just a matter of saying, that's how I want to do it. That's what I want to be, a conduit. I don't want to pour my bucket out. Or if I do pour my bucket out of love and wanting to participate and want to give my energy first, I want it to be refilled and topped off faster than I can pour it out. So That is my hope, wish, and dream for you, that you leave here again feeling like you contributed something positive, to make a change in the universe. We have, after our meditations, we have sometimes had very tangible evidence that the universe heard our meditation. In particular, when we did the one a few months ago about asking that any ingredients that were in pharma products be rendered benign or beneficial, within a couple of days, there was a huge warehouse of pharma products that was destroyed and totaled. And I had a communication from, I'm told it was Val Thor, that said that was in response to the meditation your group had. So gave me goosebumps. I do know when you put out energy of any type, it goes out there, it does something, it can't be destroyed, it can be changed maybe, but again, we're not allowing ours to be changed. Okay, now let's get ready to meditate. First of all, I want you to make sure you're sitting comfortably and sitting up. I know I have the kind of voice that can put people to sleep, so I try to not take too long on this because I don't want you to be asleep and I don't want you to be uncomfortable. So sit up as straight as you can so that your chakras are in alignment and this energy you're pulling in from the universe has a clear route to travel from the first to the seventh so that you're filled and straight. And if you can't sit up straight for whatever reason, don't hesitate to participate. If our loving creator can make everything, he can work around a curvature of the spine just fine. But we're going to do our part to meet that energy halfway and be as straight and clear as we can be. Now let's do a stress test. You shouldn't feel stressful. We're just meeting, we're friends. We know that this is a focused thought and energy, and there's nothing stressful about it. There's nothing combative about it. There's nothing negative about it. So see if you came in here with that kind of readiness by checking your stress levels. Check your shoulders, okay? Now mine, just now, I worked at putting them down. I could tell the muscles were a little tense. And I shared in the chat earlier why. When I sat down to start this computer, the mouse wasn't working and I didn't know what kind of computer error I had going on. So I tried to restart it and didn't have luck because the mouse wasn't working. I finally ended up unplugging it. Then I checked the mouse wires and little TV Nova, my new kitten, decided to chew on the mouse cord last night. Luckily, I had an extra one, so I got it solved and fixed. So that was why, that's the stress I came in a little bit with. But now I'm feeling really good because I got that solved. We're connected. Things are going really well. Okay? So make sure your shoulders are down. And throughout the day, through every day, if you do this stress test, it's a really good check to see, okay, yeah, let's put them down. Just by making your shoulders go down, it will help your stress levels to equal out and be milder. So something good to know. So make sure you've done that. So we're sitting up, we've checked our shoulders, and now we're going to do those 3 cleansing breaths, okay? The first one, first of all, we are going to clear any negativity that is clinging to us, attached to us, in us, on us. We're going to clear it out so that as we go into the minutes where we're doing our focused thought, we're as clear and crystal crisp as we can be, okay? But there may be some negativity that's been sent to you, attached to you, in you, on you. We're gonna take the time it takes with these breaths to send that off again, like we did with the negative energy, to source to be purified and transmuted and not available to bother us in any shape or form again. Now, it may be a little monkey that jumps off one person's shoulder. It may be a little black cloud that leaves another person. I don't know how that's going to manifest or look like in your mind's eye. But we're going to be drawing in the freshest, clearest, purest, most love-filled, light-filled air with these breaths possible. The first breath out will have a little dinginess to get rid of that negativity. The second breath in and out, again, is always coming in just that clear and perfect, and anything that's not is going to source for transmutation. Second breath should look pretty darn good. In some cases, you're going to feel like, hey, I'm already there. But by the third breath, You will be. It will be as clear and pristine coming in and out, and we'll be ready to go. So now, if you choose to do this with your eyes open, that's fine. If you choose to close your eyes, close your eyes. Like I said, I'm a visualizer, and usually I can visualize a little better with my eyes closed, but I can also visualize. I've got a pretty good imagination, so I can visualize with my eyes open. Do what works for you. Let's get ready for those 3 breaths, okay? Remember, the first one might be a little dingy. Second one's going to look pretty darn good. And they're all going to feel great going in because they're going to be so oxygenated and perfect for our systems. So first breath in, hold a minute and out. Okay, feeling clear. Second breath ready, in and out. Visualizing sparkles leaving me. And the third breath is going to sparkle in and out. I'm all about sparkles, guys. Okay. All right, third breath ready, in and out. Our energy's protected. We've said goodbye to any negativity that was in us, on us, or being intentioned for us. So now we're getting ready. As I told you, when we actually get into meditation, there's not really a lot of difference. It's going to still be me talking. But let's talk for a minute. We are joined in common purpose and love and light because we realize there is a need for balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine on this plane of existence for humanity. And if you're unclear of what some of the traits of those things might be, let me just share with you real quickly what those could be. The masculine energy is often disciplined, assertive, analytical, focused, resilient, giving, intellectual, competitive, controlling, impulsive, achieving, risk-taking, decisive action, mind, and logical thought. I actually have a lot of that divine masculine energy in me because I am resilient. I can be very focused. I can use logical thought. So if some of those seem negative, think of the positive ways those can express themselves. Okay, like being assertive. That's when you're not a dish rag and a doormat and you say, no, that doesn't work for me. Doesn't mean you're aggressive about it. It's the positive way that those traits can be manifested is the divine masculine energy, which we all have some of. Now, divine feminine energy, which we should also all have some of, but we have been programmed to deny this, especially if our assigned gender is male. And that was wrong teaching. We need to be a blend. Now, with some, it's going to be 60-40, 55-45, 70-30, 80-20, but we should be a blend. Feminine energy traits, and think of these as you hear them in the most positive way they can be manifested, because these are the positive ones. Feminine energy tends to be grounded, trusting, empathetic, patient, vulnerable, receiving, expressive, collaborative. Remember my hoops, hula hoop analogy earlier? Being reflective, experiencing, nurturing, creativity, senses, and intuitive feeling. And again, I have many of those traits, but I also have many of the others, and so do you. Our mixes may differ, but that is by design, because then as we work as a collective, cohesive whole, there's balance there if we don't deny it. So let's take a minute and think about some of those traits that I mentioned that you know you have. Okay? You might know that you're creative. You might know that you're a nurturer. And today is the day where we celebrate the nurturing aspect of our fathers, which our world sorely needs involved and good, at least trying to be the best they can be fathers. So the nurturing, some of those traits that you, maybe you're good at collaborating. Maybe you're very expressive. Maybe you're creative. whatever those are that you have, and think of some of the ones with the masculine that you might have. We're going to envision ourselves welcoming and allowing any of the traits from either side of this domain, divine masculine, divine feminine, to be active and incorporated in our being, to be meshed with us. Again, we're not looking for perfect 50-50 balance, okay? I think the plane of existence is going to need to be close to 50-50, but personally, we're going to be skewed one way or the other, and that's fine. So take a second, and I'm going to close my eyes as I do the visualizing, and I'm going to visualize myself with maybe one of the traits on the feminine side of things or the masculine, that I'm just going to say, ego self, let's open ourselves up to being all of the divine masculine and positive divine feminine traits that we have available to us that are part of what was planned for us. Let's welcome them and mesh them into the ones we already have and grow and use and know about, so that we can be a blend of divine masculine and divine feminine moving forward in whatever mix that our loving creator planned for us. Okay? Now, let's picture the world. Now, we're not going to violate anybody's free will. Think about people on every continent, okay? Yeah, if you want to go to cultural norms and think stereotypes, that's fine. If you want to think Lederhosen for Germany and whatever, that's fine. For Africa, for Europe, for Asia, for North America, South America, for Australia, for Antarctica. Think of people on every continent. And let's just wish for them that they would get comfortable with welcoming and incorporating their own personal mix of the positive divine masculine and divine feminine. Now, if their free will, if they are wanting to stay skewed to one side or the other, or if they are in love with toxicity, we are not going to violate anybody's free will. But we're going to take a minute and just picture people around the planet, from adults, elderly, adults, teenagers, children, babies, just being this blend of what was planned for them and welcoming that energy so that it can mix and mesh. Because your fingers are a lot stronger when they're meshed like this. They're harder to pull apart than when you're just trying to hold them together like this. So let's visualize that meshing so that among the billions of people on this planet, those that would welcome that kind of growth and that kind of assimilation and integration can have it, that we are going to help with that. So I'm closing my eyes and I'm visualizing some elderly, adults, teenagers, children, little ones. And I'm wanting and wishing and hoping and manifesting for them the best possible blend and meshing of all of these positive traits that are available to us to be the best example personally of a blend of divine masculine and divine feminine that we can be. And there are some people that just got goosebumps and don't know why. So picture that happening, again, without violating anyone's free will. But if they'd be open to it, if they knew what our intent was and what energy offering we were making, if they go, can't hurt, go ahead, go for it. Let's have that be happening to them all across this plane of existence. Okay, well, as our free will allowed, we have talked about what divine masculine and divine feminine energy can be, how we can embody all of it from both sides of the Venn diagram and blend it and be more complete when we allow that blending to happen. And I think we also need to intend that some of the programming about feeling guilty about being girly girly or, macho man, that programming goes away so that people are okay with, I'm a warrior, but I'm a nurturer, that we can see both sides of ourselves and be stronger in that way. So that was the intentions I wanted to share with you in today's meditation about blending, balancing, and incorporating divine masculine and divine feminine energy, both in ourselves and across this plane of existence. And at this time, I'm going to have my eyes be going over here. If you had a positive intention you would like to have stated, we do have a few minutes. Let's put that out there. I do have live chat replay set for this live stream, so the chat will show up if something gets missed. And I do know that my moderators and I, and some of my more active subscribers, we go through and we read these chats and we say, yes, that was a great intention. I want to add my energy to it. Now, one thing I'd like to mention, the universe doesn't recognize time as we do. And if you've been to one or more of my meditations before, I've said, hey, you can join later. So if you had a Father's Day celebration, I know there's people that do. They're going to watch the replay of this and send their energy back to us, because it doesn't matter. It's always available to us, this energy. And we can say, I am sending my energy back to when this actually happened. And we can also later on revisit and go, that was a great intention. I want that to have some of my energy. I want some of my focus to be going on that too. So we have, looks like someone has asked that the world acknowledges this truth. Blessings to those filling both mother and father space. Yes. Yeah. If you're acting as a father, and for years I had to, yeah, it's your day too. At least in the countries that celebrate it. If you do a Google search, you'll find out there's numerous countries that still are having it later this year, or that had it earlier. So it, like Mother's Day, isn't universally celebrated. It's not a global celebration. So, okay. Todd Starn says positive influence is the direction. Thank you again. Absolutely. Kimberly's idea is that awakening, opening up for all of us on all things good and healing. Yeah. Let's remember those powerful words, best possible outcome. If we want the best possible outcome for those we know, love, or focus our thoughts on, and we keep it to that, we can let the universe step in and decide and choose what that best possible outcome might be. We may have tunnel vision, and we may ask, if we ask very specifically for something, when we could have had something so much better. We're often like little 2-year-olds that we're getting hungry, we want a cookie. Because to us that sounds good, and that would stop the hunger. And mom's preparing or dad's preparing a really nice meal that we're going to love. But we just got to hang in there, So a little kid might be better off, instead of saying, I want a cookie, saying, I want some good food, and then see what gets delivered. Well, using that for our analogy, we're going to ask for best possible outcomes when we think of good things for others and for ourselves. It's okay to want good things for yourself. It's okay to recognize good traits you have or growth you've made. You don't want to glory in it, toss it in other people's faces, but it's okay to recognize that. That's part of being, awake and aware human. Nana Kay is wishing that all beings have balance in their lives in all ways. Absolutely. And be a secret pal. May all beings be free, happy, and live in peace and harmony, and so will their hearts. Again, we just have to understand that some people's free will isn't aligned with that, but more and more are. And that's one of the reasons that good change is going to happen to this plane of existence. It's one reason why there wasn't a decision to do a total reset, just to shut this whole plane of existence off and start over. It's because we are waking up and we're asking for, hey, we haven't had a chance to achieve our potential as a race. We got hijacked. We got dumbed down. We got our strands of DNA clipped. We haven't had the opportunity. We'd like the opportunity to achieve our best possible outcome as the human race. And that desire's been heard. And that's why we didn't just all get started over. Okay. Figgy Poet said, holding hands, we will unite, lifting hearts and bringing light. Knowing change will manifest and have our planet at its best. Yeah. Yeah. I don't claim to know how the upcoming changes to our plane of existence, to reality, to our world is going to manifest. I know there's some people that say, I've had a vision, it is this, and they're very clear on it. I just do know that it's been prophesied. People that say, I've had a vision, it is this, and they're very clear on it. I just do know that it's been prophesied for thousands of years, and that we're at that time, and that prophecy fulfills in surprising ways. So personally, I'm just prepared to be surprised, pleasantly surprised at how it all rolls out and when it does. Tell a little story about myself before we close here. About 2 weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I felt like I was lifting off the bed, physically, not astrally. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. I was so excited. I didn't know where it's going to go or how it was happening, but this was it. I was raising up off the bed, so I was like, oh, I was so excited. Oh, and then it kind of stopped. And I thought, well, maybe I need to get out from under these four walls and things like that so that the lifting can continue. So I ran outside onto my front porch. And then I realized that I hadn't really done it. I was having a dream that it was happening. But I like the idea that when it manifested in a surprising way, it being the change, the prophesied change that we're anticipating, that I greeted it with joy. And I was just happy. It's happening. I was so excited. And so I would wish that for all of us. When things do manifest in surprising ways, some of these outcomes that we are anticipating, that we know have been talked about, whether it's, our healing our DNA strands or whatever's going on, may we greet those changes with joy, with happiness, with finally, oh, and this is how it is. Hey, this one was a little bit right. Boy, this one was wrong. But wow, it's happening. Okay, well, that is it for this meditation. I thank you so much for participating, for contributing energy to focused thought, which is what our meditations are. Others may do them where the intent is a little different. Ours is focused thought and energy. And for finding some validity to this desire to have this plane of existence have a more balanced divine masculine, divine feminine energy mix, and a blending of the two, and being comfortable with that blending in each and every one of us. So at this time, this month, I promise not to forget a number. A couple months ago, I was counting down from 9, one of Tesla's, power numbers. I forgot a number. I'm going to do a countdown to give you a minute to finish putting items in the chat that you'd like to. And if you don't have time to do that, if I end the chat and you were typing or still trying to formulate, your thought, please feel free to go into the comment section in the live and add it down there like you do if I do a video and you comment on it. You can do it there. So you will have an opportunity if, while I'm wasting time here and blabbing while you type, if you don't get done, cut and paste it and put it down in those comments and add it there, because I don't want anyone to feel like they didn't get a chance to express a positive emotion or, a desire to, hey, could you help me manifest this in my life, or whatever, or I want to celebrate that this happened. So There was one person that had kidney stones and came back and told us that they're gone. I was glad to read it. So whatever it might be, take the time to do that. Okay, the countdown. This one's going to be accurate. I promise. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye. Thank you so much for participating. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. And if you're acting as a father or you are a father in any way, shape, or form in someone's life, may this be a especially wonderful, bright, and beautiful day for you.